In this lesson, we're going to take a plain rhythm part and make it sound great and a whole lot more fun to play. It's easy to just chug along with a simple rhythm part and wait your turn to jam, play a lick or a solo or even a cool turnaround, something to break up the monotony. And I was definitely this kind of player early on. I really separated the idea of rhythm and lead. Rhythm was something to get through and lead was what you looked forward to. But there's so much more that you can do to keep things interesting for yourself while playing rhythm and actually add to the music. I'm going to show you how to play this part that moves around and sounds more interesting, but more importantly, I'll give you the tools that you need to create parts like this on the fly. Let's dig in. The basic rhythm that we're basing this around is just a chug over this A major chord, right? That's the key. That's the chord that we're going to think about here when we're trying to expand this idea and still stay rooted in the idea of an A chord. So I'm playing the open fifth string and just kind of chucking on the chord there. So get that rhythm in your bones as we move through this. But what we're going to do is start changing our position from the A chord. We're going to move from here, quickly visit this A7, this little miniature shape right here. Great shape to get to know. And we're just changing. We're not even moving around all that much. Really, we're just dropping this note, the A, down. You can even do it like this. That in and of itself is a whole lot more interesting than just chugging on this thing, right? But we're going to keep going. Move down to this position, the bar form of the A chord at the second fret, and then add this cool little tag here. Right? And that's happening from the A to the open D, and then I'm going to just do a nice little cool bend rather, as I visit this C note on the fifth string third fret. So we got a cool little riff that takes shape now. And notice that we didn't just go down the neck when we played that, we also jumped up here and worked this A chord voicing in for some fun too. Now the big idea here, and the thing that might be holding you back from playing parts like this on the fly and confidently, is that you've got to learn to play your chords in as many different spots on the neck as you can. There are really several ways to do that. The caged method is really popular. It's a great way. It can be a little bit confusing and yield some pretty unusable chord shapes. Today we'll focus on triads because they're a bit more manageable on the fretboard. Now for me, it took some work, but studying triads gave me a lot of confidence in my rhythm playing, and it really did so like nothing else. And I'll give you the Cliff's Notes version of triads in just a second, but if you really want to dig in and get this stuff down, you can download the 7-day Triad Trainer. It's a free guide. There's a link in the description. In short, triads are 3-note chords. A major chord like this A major will consist of the root, that's our A major third, and a fifth. And that's really all you need to get the essence of a chord. And this is where our example kind of started out right here with this triad. But the cool thing is that as long as we have the root, third, and fifth, we can rearrange those notes in any order. For instance, we can come up here, put the A on top, and we've got an A major as well. So it works great as a way to kind of move but still stay on the same chord. We haven't changed the key. We haven't changed chords or anything like that. So if another player or the other band members are chugging along on A, you can throw this in there. It will sound different and really help to kind of round out the sound. But we can keep going. We can also continue and move that A, kind of move the order of the notes. Again, we'll come up here I'm at the 14th fret here. I've got my A there on the 3rd string now. And then here's the major 3rd on the 2nd string and the 5th on the 4th string there. Those are the intervals, right? So we've got root, 3rd, 5th, and then here we've got 3rd, 5th, root on top, and then here we've got 5th, root, 3rd. And this is commonly seen down here at the 2nd fret. We'll play it like this. Notice that we definitely made use of that in our little groove here. So even just moving to those 2 different parts of the fretboard can really add some interest to your playing. So you can really spice up that static rhythm part just by switching between even just 2 of these triad shapes. All right, but the cool thing about this concept of playing the same chord in different positions on the neck, it really applies to other chord types too, not just major chords, which we definitely featured heavily in this example, but it also applies to minor chords. And if you expand from a 3-note chord to a 4-note chord, it applies to 7th chords as well. Armed with the knowledge of where the chords are on the fretboard and the ability to actually use them, you can really rock and roll your way through a rhythm part, and do so by throwing in these different chord voicings in the moment. That will help to keep things fresh and interesting for you as a player, and of course for whoever is listening as well. If you dig this, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and also don't forget to download the 7-day Triad Trainer to help you get one step closer to mastering the fretboard. I'll see you back here next Tuesday. Until then, practice smart and play on.